What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Sports Talk on Tap podcast. We're here. You can find daily videos Monday through Friday covering all the four major sports leagues, whether that be MLB, NFL, NHL, or NBA, games, news, highlights, all that fun stuff. And just a heads up for anyone, we'll still be covering MLB content, as the summer winds down and playoff baseball begins, and but it'll be probably more longer episodes like this where we check in on teams, big news and stuff like that as the series winds down. It won't be day to day covering the team anymore, just switching up the content as school approaches and all that fun stuff. But we'll still be here, still be watching baseball, still covering it, all that fun stuff. But yeah, I just want to give everyone a heads up that it will be more sporadic, more so than every day, but longer, more enjoyable content with other people on as well. But Nick, that doesn't stop us. It's obviously getting towards the end of the week. Early week series wrapping up. Weekend series are about to begin. So nothing beats it. Time to do our series check-in though before we head into these weekend series, Nick. And we'll start where we started all year in the American League East, where the Yankees and Orioles. Aaron Judge 300th home run yesterday. Making history. Yankees continue to ball. Orioles have still been very solid in their own right as well. It's a half game. Will be very interesting who comes out of this, because as a Twins fan, I really don't want to go to New York, just given the history. So bring me Baltimore if we were to make it and, match up with them. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Baseball is a sore subject for me right now after last night's game. Any Red Sox fan who watched the game knows what I'm talking about, so I'm not going to get into it. But
hey,
yeah,
you took 2 out of 3.
Yeah, I'll just say, without going on a rant, I'll just say it should have been a sweep. But regardless, good division race going on. We got the Red Sox play the Orioles. It starts tonight. It's a 4-game series, so we could see the Orioles jump up, 2 games over the Yankees by the end of, Saturday or Sunday, whenever it is. Just because, the history of the past 2 years, how the Orioles have handled the Red Sox pretty fairly and how good that lineup is. So don't be surprised, Red Sox fans, if it all comes crashing down this next week and a half.
Yeah. We'll see, though. It's going to be a big week for the Red Sox. Took 2 out of 3, obviously, though. When you're inches away from sweeping, you're going to feel a little bit pissed off, but hopefully, they can get some revenge against a division rival. And then as for the Rays, they kind of, been where they are. And same with the Blue Jays as well. Just been a disappointing year for both of those squads that had high expectations. They made over to the AL Central, where Nick, I smelt it, took the first 2. But the
Bobby
Guardians won
tough,
the next 2.
Bobby Witt is tough.
Not even that. I don't mind losing 1 to the Royals. I wasn't expecting a sweep, but took the first 2 from Cleveland, 1.5 back from the division, but then they take the next 2. And now you fall back to 4.5. That's how quickly things can change. Had a nice bounce back series win against the Royals, where you want to take 2 out of 3, needed 2, and you get that done. Now you start a big 4-game series against the Rangers, the team you just faced. Head down there, got Bailey Ober tonight. Gonna be a big series. Need to take 3 out of 4 here. That's what I'm hoping for. See the boys, continue to make some noise as they approach, the end home stretch. Hopefully Correa comes back, Byron Buxton soon. Just kind of, continue the grind, that is. But them, the Royals, it's tough battle. And then, the White Sox, those are my dogs over there. 2 of 8 in their last 10, so they're on a little bit of a hot stretch, more so than people have expected. But at the end of the day, Nick, still not at 30 wins. Ugh. What are you?
That's rough. That we are in the middle of August and they don't have 30 wins. Oh my god!
Think about that. That's just basically a whole month.
And honestly, they could get to, with how this team's played, they could get to 100 losses before 30 wins. They can lose 7 straight. It's not crazy.
29 and 100. That's when we made. Yeah, no, that definitely is not in the crazy odds at all. One of the worst teams. Fortunately, I don't think we have any more games left against them, so we kind of ran out of ammo there. But it should be very fun. to see if the White Sox can make history in a different way, though. Then we head over to the ALS, where Nick, the Astros, have kind of started to separate themselves from Seattle, mainly because Seattle's problem all year has just been not able to score runs. They've got a little bit of a boost with Randy Arozarena, but it's still been a huge problem. And the pitching staff is kind of worn out a little bit because of that. But the Astros also are just super hot in their own right. On a massive winning streak right now. So the team that's made the ALCS basically every year since 2017 is not looking to have that streak end anytime soon. But yeah,
And I mean,
that's just the way it is.
And just speaking also on this division, like I think it's going to just be a 2-horse race at this point. I know the Rangers won last night against the Red Sox.
Shout out the A's, though.
Should have got swept. Yeah. Shout out the A's. They're staying with it. They're sticking with it. I think they have a 30-plus better run differential than the Angels.
Yeah, and they have a 30 better run differential than the Angels. I don't think the A's are finishing last. Give me them to make a comeback and climb the Angels.
Making a run. They're almost 500.
Only 5 games back from Texas. If they caught Texas, I would stand by our prediction and be happy with it for them to finish third place. We didn't think how it would finish, but we called it. So, that's that. Then we head over, Nick, to the NL East, where the Phillies, after being in a slump for a lot of late July, early August, they've kind of, found themselves back 5-5 in the last 10, been playing some better baseball. Still 6 games up on the Braves, who haven't been playing their best baseball, a little bit on a winning streak now. But the Mets, obviously, are kind of there now. They solidify themselves as a rather wild card team. But, they got to push again. They had that one hot stretch for a while. Do they have another one left in them? Because they're going to need it down this home stretch. And then, Nick, obviously, the NL Central's kind of been what it was, except we have one major change where our Reds, mainly your Reds because of Ellie De La Cruz, but the team we picked to finish second has finally caught up 7-3 in their last 10, have won 4 in a row, where the Cardinals are 3-7, have lost 4 in a row. And, the analytics I finally think are starting to play out after we feel like we thought it wouldn't for a while.
Yeah. I mean, you look at it's still nuts to me just looking at this expected win-loss. They're expected to be 11 games over 500, and they're 1 game under. So, it's starting to level out, like you said. They're starting to, be where they should be with all the runs that they're scoring. And they're getting some pretty solid pitching now from Hunter Green. So, I think they're going to stay right where they are. Maybe the Cardinals will make a push, but that's it. I think the Pirates screw themselves. They are 0, they have lost 10 straight games. So they are now cooked.
Yeah, the Paul Skeens, despite him pitching really well and providing that spark, the hype train has definitely ran out on the Pirates. And then, the Cardinals, the analytics are starting finally to come back to bite them in the butt. This was never a good team. They were, projected 13 games below 500. They're basically at 500. So goes to show that they weren't playing, baseball that was, enough to lead them to a wild card spot, and that has shown now. But then, Nick, we moved to arguably the most intriguing division recently. The Dodgers still in first place. Mookie Betts coming back 7-3 in their last 10. But the Diamondbacks and Padres just seem allergic to losing right now. Boy, I mean, both 2.5 back from the Dodgers, both wild card teams. I mean, Nick, who expected this turnaround this quick when we projected these two teams to make comebacks?
We did. I can say we did. This is making us look like absolute geniuses. You with picking the Diamondbacks, and then I rolled with the Padres, saying they had to make moves at the deadline. They did, and they're all panning out. And I'm pretty sure the Diamondbacks, just looking at runs scored, I'm pretty sure they have the best offense in the league. They're one of 4 or 5 teams that have scored 600 runs, and I think they're leading all teams in runs scored. So they're finally getting some sort of pitching to help that out. Corbin Carroll's seems to be okay, and they're getting a lot of
he's definitely mounting.
Vital Marte is just nuts.
Yeah. And then the Walker, they got a lot of bats, and hopefully, the pitching is finally starting to come around. And I thought it would. It was just a really rough beginning of the year for guys like Corbin Carroll, Montgomery, but you knew they had the talent to bounce back, and just the team as a whole would. They made the World Series for a reason, and they look like arguably the hottest team in baseball, along with your Padres as well. It's just unfortunate. Hopefully, one of these two teams can catch the Dodgers because, Nick, they would have to face each other most likely in a playoff series if it were to start today in a best-of-3 wild card. And, that would just stink because that means one of these two teams are going home,
Right.
despite how hot they've been. So hopefully one of them.
It's something you want to see like a 7-game series at least. They're like a 5-game series. You don't want it to see end in 3 games.
Yeah, especially just one bad start can derail it. But should be very fun. And like I said, baseball heating up right now. The home stretch is here, so we'll see what teams are made of. We kind of know what the Diamondbacks and Padres are made of right now, but we'll see what the other teams can join them, especially Nick, your Red Sox, and my Twins. But as always, make sure if you enjoy this kind of content to like and subscribe. We're still going to be producing content, even if it's not as frequently, just better, longer content throughout the rest of this summer bleeding into the school year as that continues and playoff baseball really begins to ramp up. But as always, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content, and we'll catch you next one. Peace.